So, hi everyone, and how are you guys doing? I think you were in the previous webinar, that was our seventh webinar, and I welcome you all again. And this is our eighth webinar with Mr. Nouri. I'm so sorry, and he's one of my favorite person that I follow on LinkedIn. So let's welcome him on the second day of GFiT virtual conference. And this is a platform to network, experience, and innovate together for the future of technology. Here at Good Firms, we bring all the top IT players and pioneers under one roof to discuss technology and business. So today's topic is very close to my heart, and we are going to discuss AI and the future of work. And on our panel is for our eighth webinar is Mr. Steve Nouri. He's a data science leader who has evolved the way people look at AI and innovations. An entrepreneur, investor, author, he aims to empower prospective data scientists throughout with high quality education and learning material. He's a member of HPR and Forbes Technology Council, ICT Professional of the Year, Gold Disruptor, and an accomplished influencer with over 2 million followers on LinkedIn, including me. So without a further ado, let's have Mr. Steve Nouri.
Thank you, Sasha. Thanks for the great intro. A little bit about myself. I'm head of data science and AI at I'm head of data science and AI at ACS, and in my daily job, I look after the data science team, data governance, and data analytics, which is internal function. But what I'm very excited about is actually the second role that I have as an AI evangelist. So I get to talk to people, go around the world, participate in conferences, and hear successful stories and share them with my audience. It is very interesting that in this particular time, I'm going to talk about this topic, which is the future of the work. And we can see that it is already impacting the way we are communicating with each other. I cannot see any of you. It used to be face-to-face conference all over the world, and we could have interaction. The good news is I'm not a good joker. I can't say funny stuff, but so that's good for me because I think the jokes are kind of ruined right now. Nobody can laugh, and you can just unmute and say and then mute yourself. So that's kind of how it revolutionized the conferences around the world. That's one of them. But I'm going to share my screen with you to jump on the webinar. So should be all good now. All right. So AI and the future of the work. First and foremost, let's talk about acknowledge the elephant in the room, and that's the pandemic. So all of you guys have been impacted by pandemic around the world, directly, indirectly. Perhaps that's the most traumatic experience of our lives. And it has huge impact on individuals and society and workforce in general. Probably you have already seen this image here down there. Who led the digital transformation in your company? And the answer is COVID-19. What happened is easy. It just amplified and made the transformation faster. So what we are seeing right now probably would have eventually happened in 10 years maybe. Working from home would be um, more of the norms, and people somehow would have access to many digital devices, connecting with each other, running many global events. But the COVID just put a lot of pressure on the workforce and society in general to make all these changes happen quicker. Some of these changes will go back to probably the norm. As you can imagine, a lot of companies may opt for working from the office again. um, some of them will have a hybrid, which is more flexible work, and very rare companies will opt for 100% work from home. But anyway, the force is very significant. But why it is such a huge why it is a significant experience? Why it is very huge? And there are a couple of things. Being global, enduring, pervasively disruptive, and impossible to ignore makes it different from what happened before. So if you think about it, this is probably one of the few incidents that affects almost everyone, regardless of the role, industry, location on planet. And it affected business owners, staff, managers, and that makes it very significant. Um, the other one is enduring, which is if you think about other problems that like we may have seen, like the natural disasters, like hurricane and earthquake. Um, these are not similar. The pandemic has been more than a fleet of event, and it kind of unfolded over many months, and there's no like end dates that we can foresee right now at this point. There are lots of efforts to make um, some kind of vaccine or some medicine, but at this point we have no idea when we will go back to normal life without thinking about COVID-19 anymore. And it is disruptive. It changed the way we were working. Ex- exactly as I said, many conferences went online, which is a great thing in one way. It will be global as a nature. Many different time zones probably right now tuning in and listening to this conference, and it made everyone to adapt to the new norm. Um, and that kind of helped digital economy because you can see these online apps and applications that will help connecting people online. They are having a really happy time at this point. um, Stock market is very in favor um, with these applications. Uh, and it is impossible to ignore. If you think about California wildfires, uh, there's still lots of other news on the TV, and you could hear about many different events around the world. uh, and people will kind of, some of them may not even notice or think about that particular incident, but COVID is very difficult to ignore. And because it impacted it almost everyone, we are all hearing about it and following all the news. So if you want to think about the real impact in our lives and how it is helping the digital economy, and why we think it is significant for the future of the work and also AI, you can look at these reports, you will see that people are more engaging online with internet users and social media, and they're using their phone more. That means that they generate more footprints, first of all. When you uh, just click on a post or video, you will leave a digital footprint. Those sneaky little AI applications are monitoring your every move, and they will come back to you later recommending things and recommending similar videos or content. So the first thing, lots of footprints. The second one, you're generating more digital content. As you can see right now, I'm talking in front of camera, and we have to do it this way. There's no other way to run these events. And even if I want to send a message to my family, it will be on any of these online social media applications and um, chat applications. So we are also generating a lot of digital content. And these are very, very important and significant for um, AI, because at the end of the day, any artificial intelligence platform needs data. And unfortunately, AI needs a lot of data. It digests a huge amount of data to predict and provide really good insights, specifically machine learning and deep learning algorithms. Imagine if you want to just distinguish between two images of cats and dogs, that needs hell lot of information and images to run through a model and train the model and generate the insights that you would use in production. So that's the same thing here. Um, we're seeing increasing number of the data sets that will be later used for training the AI. The other significance of this COVID and the way that we are going to work from home, and it seems that a lot of countries are thinking to more frequently allow their workforce to go work from home, and employees are more happy to work from home. Definitely, a lot of us at this point may be a little bit agitated too much, staying at home and not being able to go out, um, kind of put us in pressure. But I think if that's a flexible way of um, going to work whenever you want, staying at home whenever you want, a lot of us may opt for more using the work from home um, flexibility of working from home. And that's another important aspect. It makes the perspective for future industries that are thinking to generate more apps and tools that help you work from home easier. And AI is one of the most important features of those applications. If you think about Zoom or any of these um, online meeting apps or tools, they are using AI for a couple of different reasons. One of them, if I'm going to use any artificial background, virtual background, it will be using computer vision, segmenting my body, and then um, putting the image as a background. A lot of other applications using AI to um, doing some kind of encoding and compressing of this video and that helps them to lower the rate, the frame rate. So let's say if they just capture my face, which is moving, and that's the most important thing for communication, and mimic the same movements in the destination without sending all the images through as a stream, that will be so helpful into lowering um, the burden on um, your network and generally in internet, and it will lower a lot of costs. So that's something that NVIDIA, for example, is using for their platform and also many other applications. Um, Now if you think about all these important uh, new um, new significance that happened during this pandemic, we can see that why we think AI is the most powerful tech of our time, because uh, we are kind of in a very interesting time. We are living through a fundamental transformation in the way we work. And it's very important to understand why AI having an impact in our life. I'm going to go through a couple of examples to show you what is happening and what companies are doing that will kind of roll out in future. But before that, um, let's think about a couple of aspects that will be changed in the future. The first one is decentralized remote workforce. So what happens is we are going to work from home more, and that will help companies to have more decentralized work, and they can have many people in different time zones and different places working with each other, and they don't need to necessarily come to one office every morning and see each other. Digital transformation is, as I talked about, happening at the same time. It will continue to happen. This is a kind of a non-stop transformation. We always go closer to more automation and more digitalization, because that's what will add value. It is something that will help. The automation will be driving the productivity for industries, and also um, it will lower the cost for consumers and make their life more convenient. And also automation at the scale will lead to breakthroughs, and some of them are among the examples that I'll share with you. So let's look at the first example: decentralized remote workforce. Some of these applications are already available, and uh, but this is a very interesting application that Microsoft is working on, and it will help you to work from home like this, and you have the flexibility to use augmented reality and have your work, office, and home combined kind of together. It has some advantages and disadvantages at the same time. So the advantage would be the flexibility, but disadvantage will be kind of mix of work and home together. It's like you don't have kind of the point of differentiation clearly where and when you're working, and it's kind of frustrating for some people to have them combined together. The next one is the digital transformation and automation, which is non-stop happening. And this is an example of a robot doing fruit picking. In this case, is tomato picking. automation is something that like it's everyone's dream. You would like to do less labor intensive work and more intellectually stimulating work that will kind of help us to feel better about ourselves, that we are impacting deeply, and you're kind of involved in some activity that will add more to the society. And these repetitive, boring tasks um, are something so interesting and so helpful to be automated by robots and AI. In this case, you can see how effectively computer vision and AI identifying those tomatoes that are ripe and very delicately picking those tomatoes without making any bruises or any problem, and leaving the rest to um, get ripe later, which is something that you would like to see in terms of accuracy. The next one is about how AI can help us to become more effective. It's not about um, AI versus human or robots versus human. It's about how robots and AI enable us to be more productive. And you can see here a Japanese retailer um, using robots to refill their convenience store and all the employees working from home. But what you can see here, that employee is using some kind of augmented reality device to control the robot. And I remember when I shared it on social media, I got a lot of comments like, why they do that? Why they don't um, use some kind of automated system, or use the employee to do that? It will cost more because they need to pay the employee and also they need to buy the robot. But if you think about it a little bit deeper, they're actually using these employees to train those robots, because AI needs to understand how to do the work. And some of these tasks are very complex. It needs a little bit of training, it takes time, it needs a data set, and they're capturing these data sets by using these inputs from their own employees. The good news is the AI would learn from it, but the bad news is that employee might not have a job after the pandemic, and eventually they need to reskill, upskill, and do something else. I'm going to show you one of the most interesting breakthroughs that um, it's dear to my heart, because I was one of the early testers, and I'm loving it still. So OpenAI um, recently published a very interesting AI model, which is called GPT-3. It is generative pre-trained transformer, and it's essentially a language model that help you produce help us to produce human-like text. It is using deep learning, and it has been trained on um, a lot of different texts and sentences from the internet, from Wikipedia, whatever they could find, they just throw it in and train the model based on all of them. And what happens that GPT-3 um, right now has 175 billion parameters, and it understands all the nuances and complexities of the languages, of the natural um, language that human can understand. And that helps to kind of a breakthrough in AI using text analytics. Many say that that's the beginning of AGI, which is the artificial general intelligence. Um, to me, I have seen many great applications. It understands the complexity and the little bits and pieces in the text that uh, previous best algorithms, which is like the Microsoft algorithm here, down there, by far different accuracy, different complexity. And you, I would like to show you a couple of the ways that it is being used. The first one, um, someone is typing in the English language, and AI is helping to generate the Python code for it. So it's like generate a Flask app and blah blah, and it just generates the code, Python code, with just a little bit of work, maybe adding and deleting little bits and pieces. Uh, it it can be used as a application. In this case, because it was very simple, it can be used directly, and you don't need to even change anything. It's just copy and paste, and you can see how easy it can be used. This is one of the augmentation that I was talking about. It's going to help uh, kind of citizen data scientists, citizen programmers that are not very advanced in programming. They know a little bit of basics, and they need help to generate a piece of content to do their work. It will make it faster for them to generate the code. It will make it easier to debug the code, and it has many interesting applications. I was blown away by this one, and I think this is going to be part of the future where we have non-coding applications that you can make websites, you can make mobile apps or any application without knowing much of the coding, um, just by using these natural language saying what exactly you're looking for. The next one is even more interesting. It's AI generating AI. So someone is asking AI to generate, you can read it here, to generate a model to classify images in 5 groups. So a classification machine learning model, it is understood as an AI application. And you can see here that GPT-3 model is helping to generate that code and that model, um, and yep, it has all the little bits and pieces that you need to have to run the model. And it can be literally copy and paste in the Jupyter notebook or any IDE, and you have your machine learning algorithm ready for you. Uh, this one is kind of revolutionary in my eyes. Uh, we are looking here AI generating AI, which is something that it's pretty much similar to itself, like it is self-generating. And imagine it, these applications will learn to get better and better, and it will regenerate itself, and it will regenerate itself in a develop something um, higher quality, faster, and more robust. So that's a good news. The bad news is a lot of people may get a little bit kind of worried that maybe some kind of sci-fi movie would happen, and these AI and robots would uprise against humanity. Um, I can assure you that's not going to happen based on what we have right now and what we understand right now as an AI. So there is no reason to be concerned about um, uh, being taken over by robots and AI kind of like becoming like a matrix and those similar stories. And then last part of the future of the work um, is about how we're going to keep ourselves safe from being disrupted. Um, and think about it, with all those automation and augmentation, we're going to make the work easier and faster in a lot of different roles. Um, we might have disruptions, as of, for example, fruit picking. So what happens then? We need to reskill and upskill our workforce. There is no other ways. To me, AI is just a very quick technology, and that is a little bit more invasive than the previous technologies that also were disruptive, like electricity uh, or mobile technology. They were all disruptive, and many jobs disappeared, and many new ones kind of got created. That's pretty much the same story. All right, that's something that we all need to be mindful of, and we need to just make sure that we have open mindset, agile learning, getting ready for jump into the uh, new opportunities, and always learning and upskilling and staying on top of our games. And that's what it is. It's uh, not something in terms of the disruption. It's not something that we have never seen before. It's just a little bit quicker and more extensive. And the other, let's say we have AI implemented in our future of the work. The other last thing that I want to mention is about the AI and ethics. So, uh, by using AI in many different aspects of our life, we are going to capture and share our our private information with many people. We are going to make it available to people, and it might be used in a way that we are not happy with it, or the AI itself might make the decisions that um, might not be accurate. So there are a couple of things that we need to be careful about, and it needs to be thought uh, well before implementing AI, and it needs to be something implemented and enforced by governments to ensure the safety of the citizens. And if you think about it, it's not too much different from the general ethics that we all know. It's more about the fairness of AI. It's AI should be used for benefit of the humanity. AI shouldn't hurt, destroy of human beings, and things similar to that. And accountability, explainability, these are all the major principles of AI ethics. And we have all of these for any other technologies, like the person who makes that particular technology or device is responsible for it, or the explainability is more about how that particular AI application is used in certain domains. For example, making decision about somebody's life. So then we need to understand more about what's happening inside AI. But in general, as a general fact, um, the um, ethics in AI and ethical AI is something that we are all aware of it as a human, and we just need to translate the new technology and kind of adapt it with our understanding of ethics. The future is so bright, and I totally believe that this AI is going to help everyone to have a better life, um, easier work, feeling more happier. It is already changing um, um, the way we interact, the way we work, and our health is impacted by AI, by kind of helping pharmaceuticals coming up with better medicines and cures. And as a general, this is like other technologies that if can be used in a good way, it will definitely have a great impact. That's um, my that's my presentation today. Thank you very much, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Hi, Steve. It was a lovely presentation, and the sort of messages, the sort of information that you gave me just blew my mind off. And I can see that there are some questions that people would want to ask you. So let's just take them one by one. And you can
Yes,
skip if you, because we do not have so much of time. So if you want, we can skip questions also if you feel so.
yes, for sure. Um, are you going to read it, or would you like me to read it and
Whichever
answer
is
it?
comfortable to you, however
All
it's
right.
comfortable to you.
Um, it's fine. I can just go through them um, one by one. Just a second. All right. All right. Will AI take most of the jobs that are presented today? Um, can't say most of the jobs will be taken by AI. It will be augmented by AI. Definitely, it will touch all the different jobs out there that we are kind of saying right now. But I definitely believe that in the short term, it will just take some of the jobs that it's already obvious, repetitive, and easy, not much cognitive task happening. Um, what are intelligent agents and how AI impacts the application development arena? Intelligent agents are mostly used for reinforcement learning, and pretty much um, they will try to learn the environment by interacting with them, and kind of like a game format. And you set up some rules and let the agents try to learn the parameters and maximize the gain of the that particular environment. um, you put the rewards, and also you need to um, make sure that they don't overfit to the rewards. So that's pretty much how most of the companies use reinforcement learning in the virtual environment. Since AI requires a lot of data, isn't that there will always be risk of security breach? Um, so AI requires a lot of data, but that doesn't mean that if a security breach happens, that's because of AI. We already are capturing data just because of archiving the data, or you're keeping the track of the transactions. If you put some kind of intelligence on top of that data, um, that will not make any extra vulnerability on the captured data. But if you tell me that AI will make us capture more data, and eventually more data means more responsibility, yes, that's true. We are more responsible because we own more data. So pandemic has already taken away jobs from many. Will automation take away the remaining jobs? Um, yeah, as I said, I understand pandemic has done it, but it's just because of the financial crisis. It's not something that will be um, uh, permanent. You hopefully very soon you everybody will go back to work, and the economy will start to um, kind of get back to normal, and AI will do its own job separately, disrupting the repetitive task. Will China be the superpower? China is a superpower right now, generating, manufacturing a lot of goods, and um, it will definitely be one of the AI superpowers. Can't say it will be the one. It is very difficult to, um, you know, to predict that particular thing, but it's definitely as large country with many with a huge population and a great economy, it will play a significant role. What are hyperparameters in deep neural network? That's a technical one. So if you think about deep neural network as a tool, there are specific settings for this tool to make it work the best. And these settings, these parameters um, for specifically deep neural network called hyperparameters. And let's say, as an example, number of layers in the neural network. Should it be 2 layer, 3 layer, 5 layer, or 10 layers? This is one of the hyperparameters. How many neurons you're going to have in each layer? That's a hyperparameter. So these are the settings that you need to explore and kind of um, um, follow some kind of rules. And sometimes it is something a little bit hit and miss with the exploration. But at the end, you find what is optimal for your problem, and then save your model with those hyperparameters, and that kind of makes your model unique. Will AI improve pilot behavior and replace co-pilots? That's a very interesting question. So recently, I think it was a month ago, US Air Force had a virtual combat between AI pilot and one of their best elite F-35 pilots. And the result was something that I couldn't predict it, uh, because AI just won all the five matches or combats, and it was super easy. There was no chance for that elite pilot to win against AI. and that kind of shows that the air supremacy is already gone, and AI has taken that from human. And the problem is uh, exactly like AlphaGo or chess, it happens once and it will never go back. So once the AI wins the game, um, there's no chance that human can retake it. Um, so that's already done and dusted, I guess. Um, all right. So how to know what are the future long-lasting skills or technologies? So just as a general rule of thumb, um, if that particular role needs a lot of critical thinking, needs a lot of decision making, and um, considering many complex situations and parameters, then that's something that will hopefully last longer. Um, Especially if it is not repetitive and you're dealing with multiple different scenarios. So what I would suggest as a skill, um, I think, as I said, problem solving, critical thinking are the skills that you need to survive in this disruptive world. And then the rest, the technical skills should be something that you keep changing and keep learning. If it is a programming language, if it is any understanding of any specific device or tool, that is something that you should be able to pick up quickly and move forward. But the principle is actually what makes you as a human, as a complex creature, and that's um, um, the intelligence, the complex intelligence that kind of make enable us to put together many different inputs from different sources and come up with a final decision. Um, some of the latest research on AI that is interesting. As I said, GPT-3 is my favorite, latest one of the latest research. I um, totally recommend you to have a look to follow that. It is generating disruption within the AI industry at this time, at this moment that we're talking about. One of the hottest topics, and that's the, as I said, closest thing to AGI, uh, and how it can be leveraged to automate, augment the other tasks. That's interesting. Growth aspects we can agree on. Can AI be dangerous? Is it replacing humans? I've read about it many places, but need to know, what do you think? Um, yeah, that's a debate actually right now. We have in one place someone like Elon Musk. Um, he is just very smart person, and what he says is highly regarded by many. Um, so essentially, he believes that AI can be dangerous, and there's a lot of potential for AI to become dangerous. And there's there's another group of people joined by Mark Zuckerberg and I could say Bill Gates and a couple of others that are kind of also the pioneers, heroes, and highly regarded scientists. And they believe that it will not happen and AI cannot be dangerous. And they all have some kind of their own reasonings. And because it's a prediction, nobody can be concrete about it, right? So there's no way that they can 100% say, yep, that's it. And we know the future. It would be great to know the future, but it's not available at this point. I believe it's not going to be dangerous. That's my personal opinion. And I believe that the AI that we know at this point right now will not have the potential to go by itself rogue and become some kind of like uprising, platform against human. And I guess that will conclude my session. There are other questions. I'm happy to follow up on that on LinkedIn. Send me the message and let's be in touch. Thank
Yes,
you very
and
much.
Mr. Steve, I have one last question. If you have 2 minutes to spare, I mailed
Yeah.
this question to a lot of neuroscientists and a lot of AI experts, and they're not be able to answer it to me. In future, are we going to overlap neuroscience and AI? That means converting our emotions mathematically and then training a robot on this. I mean, is it possible? Will it happen in the future so that that robot can mimic our brain in terms of emotions and soul? Maybe is it possible?
So it's a complex. There's a complex answer for it. So I would just say yes and no. So there's a yes part. So neural link. I don't
Hmm.
know how much you've heard about it. It's from
I'm doing my
our
master's in it.
master
Yeah.
Elon
So,
Musk. So Neuralink made a device that can be attached to the brain and can read some kind of signals from the brain, but it is not that advanced that can understand everything. It can probably get some signals and they can probably interpret it in a way. For example, if you're happy or if you're sad, it will be 0 or 1. That's as complex as it gets. But human is like more complex than that, right? Our emotions can range from 0 to 100 or maybe even more. And I can see that in future they may get to the point that they can interpret a more complex um, signals from the brain and emotions. But if you would like to imitate the same kind of signals coming out of a human brain and make another artificial brain that can have the same exact kind of interactions and same exact feelings as we have, I don't think that is possible. I think um, understanding the output is one thing, making the mechanism and all those complexities inside the brain and mimicking the structure to work in the same way is another thing. So I will probably say they will be able to understand it, but they will not be able to mimic and make the same thing. And it is something to know, like the GPT-3 that I'm talking about. So it is able to understand and generate the human language, but definitely it is not going to be able to live like a human, like to um, kind of go through evolution as we went through. It just digests our data and blends it in and generates something similar. So it it never can be able to generate something like what Shakespeare did. You will not see something like that.
Nice example. I think that was a good session. And if any of the questions you want to ask, you can connect with him on LinkedIn, and the LinkedIn URL is on the board, and he can answer all your questions. And I think it was a great session. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for sparing out your time for the session.
Thank you very much, Sasha.
All right then.